we're going to be talking about developing the God kind of love. Developing the God kind of love. John 13. You know, I went through the fourth chapter in John just to see how many times the word love was mentioned in these chapters. And I found out that from just in fourth chapter, and Jesus is the one that did all the talking, 21 times he mentioned the word love. And when we say love, we're not saying the normal love that we're talking about, that we see. We're talking about the agape love, the God kind of love. Now, this in the Hebrews or the Greek, there's two words for love. One is phileo, which is friendship love. And the agape love, Jesus is the one that introduced it into this world. The Old Testament folks, they only had filial love. Filial, friendship love. But we, you and I, we have the agape kind of love. Why? Because we became born again. When you became born again, love, the love of God came inside of you. His love. That's why we had to become born again. Because we had to change our nature. And when we did change our nature, His love came into us. God is love, and you and I are love. He didn't pour just a little bit of love into you and I. He poured Himself into you and I. See, this body is not you. You don't even know how you look like. I don't know how you look like. You don't know how I look like. Because this body is not the real you. The real you is inside here. The real you looks like God. And the real you acts like God. See, we shouldn't let this body rule us. Because this body, if you let it rule you, boy, you'll be doing some crazy things. Ask me about it. You can't let this body rule you. It don't want to do anything that is right. It wants to eat what it wants. And it don't even know when to stop. Talking about doing some stuff, some exercises, some things like that, this body will talk to you and tell you, you don't need that. You're just wasting your time. Look. I just found out that it's not only me that thinks like that. I told you before, I get up, 5 o'clock, First of all, it tells me you don't need to go out there. When I do go out there, why don't you just walk some? When I get into where Patricia runs houses over there, my body, the mind will tell me, just walk a little bit up, just walk. You ran all this way, why don't you walk a little bit? I have to tell this head here, shut up. Be quiet. I didn't get up to walk, I get up to run. And so I thought I was the only one that did like that. There's a young lady by the name of Allison. She runs about 7 miles a day. And we meet all the time. I'm going up and she's coming down. So anyway, when we get right in front, sometimes I'll meet her right by my house there. And we'll stop and talk for a few minutes. She says she has to do the same thing. She says she has to be talking to her body, praying and talking and running in order for her to make it. So, you know, this body is like that, it'll tell you. But don't let it control you. You control it. You talk to it. You control it. Because the real you is inside. Now, you're going to have this body. Yes, you're going to have it. Someday you're going to have it. Eternity. But it's going to be different. You're going to be total rule of this body. See? But for now, you have to talk to it. All right, so let's read John chapter 13, verse 34 and 35. It says, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one to another. So this is not a suggestion. This is a command. A command is something in which you have no choice. A command is something that you have to do. There's no turnaround, no choice. So he's commanding us to love one another as he loved us. Not as you love yourself. Because in the old commandment, it says to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And some people just, they don't, believe it or not, they don't love themselves. And so they're going to try to love their neighbors the way they think they should, and it's not going to work. We are to love one another as Jesus loved us. He is our example. And love has no boundary. Love gives. Let me read, I read this to you the last time, but let me read 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 to 8 in the New Living Translation. And I want us to think a little bit about it, because this is who you are. This is what's inside of you and I. But now we have to realize it. It says, first of all, it says, love is patient and kind. Love is patient and kind. That's who you are. You're patient and you're kind. Now, some people, they are very patient. They're long-suffering. But I tell you what, they'll complain and moan and groan and they're not kind about it. But you and I are patient and kind. And love is not jealous. It doesn't envy other people's stuff. Some people, well, just because that person got this, got that, I want that. I need that. I want it. Why don't I have it? Why they have to have it? Some people are very jealous or envious about somebody else's stuff. And then love is not boastful or proud. You're not boastful or proud or rude. There's some people, they could be rude. They're rude. You could just look in their face when they're doing something or they're walking or stuff, you know they're rude. Love is not. You're not. You're not rude. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, he's talking about you, and you are not rude. That's right. There you go. Good. It does not demand its own way. Oh, boy. It's my way or no other way. And even the little children is like that sometimes. They want their way, not your way. They want their way. Love is not like that, and you are not like that. You have God inside of you, and God is not like that. It does not demand its own way. It doesn't get irritable. And it keeps no record of being wrong. You don't remember things that people did to you 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You don't keep record of it. You forgive. Never hold grudge. Never hold bitterness. Forgive and forget. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoice whenever truth wins out. Love never gives up. Never gives up. I don't care what situation you may be in. Love never gives up. There's always a way. Love always wins. Why? Because love is God. You know God is not going to lose. God is inside of you. His love is in you. He is in you. So, you're not going to lose. Love never gives up. And love never loses faith. Is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. So that's who you are. You are a winner. We need to start confessing these things. You'll find this in 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 8. You should confess these scriptures, think about them, because that's who you are. That's who we are. Yeah. It's God in us. God in us. And so, He wants us to develop this kind of love. To walk in love is to walk in one of the highest spiritual realms there is. Why? Because that's the way Jesus walked. He walked in the highest ways. He loves everyone. He loves everyone. Yes, he did say some things to some people like the Pharisees at times. He did say some stuff that was pretty tough. He even called them, hey, you are your father the devil. Now, if I was to call you that today, you'd probably look at me, and if you could, if you got something in your hand, I may end up getting on my head. But he did it. He told them, you are of your father the devil, and the works of your father you will do. And he called them some other names too. Yet he walked in love. He never got out of love. So when we learn to walk in love, when we learn to put the God kind of love that's inside of us into action, we will begin to understand how to talk to people, how to act with people. Because what we call love may not be love at all. See, sometimes some people, you need to tell them the truth. First of all, the truth in love. Some people could take it. Some people can't. But the problem is, a lot of time we need to tell them the truth, but we'll hold back and let them fall into problems. That's not what God wants. God wants us to tell them the truth. Whether they like it or not, if it's the truth, they're going to be helped. So we need to act that way. Now, love talks the truth every moment. No matter what situation comes your way, love is able to overcome. We are to walk in love even as Jesus, walked in love. Let's look at Ephesians 5, Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. And by the way, Pastor Henry did a wonderful teaching last week on this love. It was very, very, very excellent teaching. Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. It says, "Be ye therefore followers of God, as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also had loved us, and had given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savor." So here it says, "Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children." God calls you his children. And he wants us to imitate him. Imitate Jesus. In other words, walk in love. Yeah, when you make up your mind and heart that you're going to do it, many things is going to come around and try to get you away from it. But I can tell you, most of the time, It's not what you do with your hand. It's what you do with this one right here.
Amen. That's good. Amen. That's good.
It's with the tongue that gets you out of the way. And when you make up your mind and heart that yes, I'm going to walk in love, you're going to have many opportunities to let this come out. Your words, our words are very, very, very important to be able to walk in love. When someone makes you mad or angry, it's so simple to take the word and let him have it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Just walk away, praise the Lord a little bit. Wait till the water has gone down, and then come and say something. Because if you don't, you're going to take out some word which is going to be, instead of helping, you're going to, now instead of getting the situation straight now, you're going to be in a bigger mess than that. I used to be one of those, I mean, I used to be so angry at times, you know. When you go into service, that's what they teach you. You don't go and laugh and talk and ha 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 to the soldiers. You do that, you're going to find yourself in the brig. They teach you to be rough. They teach you to when you speak roughly. And so you get, you know, you spend so many years in it, hearing the same, and it becomes a lifestyle to you. And when I became born again, but before I became born again, I was pretty roughy. I was rough with them, with the kids. You know? Sometimes even while I'm driving, you know, they're doing something, I used to turn around and, you know, whack them over their head and everything else, and then speak, you know, rough. I was very rough. This one right here, she learned
where to sit.
Oh, she learned how to handle me very, very quick. When they do something wrong, I get mad and everything else, but then after I became a Christian, I learned to do a little bit better. I said, I'll wait till it gets down, you know, then I'll go ahead and take care of it. You know? But this one right here, she learned, and then she taught Madeline, the other one. And so what happened is I waited and waited, you know, and then finally I get them into their room. And then I would talk to them a little bit, tell them what they did and messed up. And I wouldn't even hit them as hard. This is when I became a Christian. I wouldn't even hit them as hard. This one right here is crying. She's really not crying. She's pretending she's crying. And so that makes me feel bad, and instead of really do what I'm supposed to do, I'll just do a couple of times and that's it. But then we get out of there in good, you know. Sometimes I'll cry with them. I'll hug them, tell them how much I love them. And then we get out of there, and she's supposed to get more, but she got out of there with a little bit. But love is something that you have to work all the time. All the time. Because you got to, you got to put it into practice. And there's nothing wrong with apologizing. Nothing wrong. When you know you're out of line, tell the people, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm learning even when we go to Market Basket. We don't go that much, often over there that much anymore. But, to tell the people, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Instead of them telling me I'm sorry, they're sorry, I tell them I'm sorry. But you have to practice it. Just now stop and shop. Somebody ran with a carriage on my toe. And look at me, as if I'm the one that did wrong. Sorry, man. That's it. You have to put love into practice. To walk in love is a daily conduct, not just one time. Daily. You have to put it into practice all the time. Husband and wives, It's so nice when your eyes look at the first man or wife, they both do it. When your eyes go straight to that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful young lady or that young man, it's so nice. And then you started dating, oh boy, everything is so nice. No problem, so nice, oh yeah. You don't think about later on. When the honeymoon is over and responsibility is upon us now, it's so easy to say, I'm going to give you peace of my mind. But you know what? You keep on giving peace of your mind, before you know you're going to be without a mind. Yep. You have to practice love.
Amen. That's good. That's good.
You have to practice it. Because you are love. God is love. The Bible says God is love. You are His child, actual child. You are love also. So for you to act out of love is not God. It's not normal. We have the same capacity that Jesus had to walk in love. You said, well, how do you know that? John 17:23 says, He prayed. He said, Father, show them that you love them as you love me. We have the same love that Jesus had. You are Jesus in this earth. You are. You are His hand. You are His feet. You are His body. He's the head. We are the body. And so we have to take love seriously. Because that's who we are, and that's who God is. And love must be perfected or matured. We have to grow into love. 1 John 4:12, please. 1 John 4:12. It says, no man had seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us. He wants us to be matured. He wants his love to be perfected in us. Yes. And it's going to take place while we're in this earth, here. His love is perfected in us. In 1 John, while you're there, verse 16 and 18. Verse 16, it says, and we have known and believed the love that God had to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Amen. Isn't that a mighty scripture, huh? Amen. To have God living in you, and you living in him. To have love in you, and you in love. Herein, verse 17, herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. Huh? As he is, so are we in this world. How are we living in this world? Christianity, Christian is little Christ. That's who you are. Little Christ. You are just like him. Now, I know when I say this, some people may say, oh, you know, you're crazy. You can't be like God. He's God. You're you. Well, he says you could. Yes. Listen, let me tell you something. God knows who he is. And he knows who you are. And he is not one, I don't hurt or anything like that. Because he knows you and I don't know who we are. He wants us to know, folks. He wants us to know. And he wants us to live it, his life in this earth. First of all, how are we going to live the life that he wants us to live in this earth? If we not exercising our authority and our rights to hear him, now, how is he going to have us ruling this earth? He's not ruling this earth, it's us that's ruling this earth. But how are we going to do it if we can't hear what he's saying, what he's telling us? if we can't act the way He wants us to act? How are we going to do it? We can't. Love overcomes every situation, every circumstances, every problem. Love overcomes all. Why? Because love is God. God. For love to fail is God to fail. And God never fails. And He says love never fails. So, we have to learn how to walk in love. Verse 18. There is no fear in love. Oh, I'm scared to fly. You are? You're scared to fly. Love has there's no fear in love. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear. Because fear has torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. So, if you have fear of anything, don't tell me, don't tell nobody, just between you and God. Start acting in love. Start putting love. Where you belong. And you'll get rid of the fear. Because, like I said, God is love. And God has no fear. And God is in you. You are part of God. So you should have no fear. None whatsoever. We are born of God. It says, and whatsoever is born of love overcometh the world. And love is our only reason for being, really. When God made you and I, is love, is because of His love. God made you and I so that He can have someone to share His love with.
That's right.
And so that's the only reason why we were made. And His love is shed abroad or poured in your heart. Romans 5:5 says, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. See? When you became a child of God, His love was poured into you and I. There is no excuses for not acting and living in love. None. None. Where do we get this other type of, the way some people act, they act like crazy. We didn't get that from God. He don't have that. We got it from that other God. So our confession of 1 Corinthians 13, like I said, verse 4 to 8, it will help us a great deal to walk in love. I encourage you to read 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4. Well, you can go from 1 to 8. I would encourage you to read that every day for about a couple of weeks. And I just heard, yesterday, I didn't get all of it, but George Pearson. Anybody know who he is? George Pearson? Yes. He's has a tremendous church in Texas. He's under Kenneth Copeland. He married Kenneth Copeland's daughter, right? Yeah. And I just heard him. He was talking on love. They're preaching on love. And I think this was his part 3 that I saw. And he said he lives in, his folks lives in Cape. And so he came to Cape. And he was, if you know Kenneth Copeland walked in love. Kenneth Copeland definitely knows how to put love into practice. And he says anyway, Kenneth Copeland must have been teaching on love, and so he came to Cape and to spend some weekend with his parents. He says it took 1 hour. When he got over there, he lay down on that bed, and he says he kept on repeating, the Father loves me, the Father loves me, the Father God loves me. He said that for about an hour. And he said when he got through saying about it an hour, then God spoke to him and told him, George, I loved you before you even knew me. He says, I loved you before I even made you. So that helped them tremendous by meditating or by saying it. And so I encourage you to start reading it and thinking about love, because that's the greatest thing you can do. You know? If you don't know anything else, learn about love. Because love will help you overcome all those other situations. So, becoming love of God conscious. And in order for us to do that, we have to confess. Confess it. Meditate on it, so that it will become real. We have a love background. 2 Peter. 2 Peter. Second Peter 1. It's 2 Peter 1, verse 3 to 8. It says, according as his divine power had given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that had called us to glory and virtue, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. And beside this, given all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness love or charity. So it is very, very important to put that into practice. Now, It's a communion day. Let me go back to 1 Corinthians, no, I'm sorry, John 13. So we have to partake of the divine love of God. Love will make us succeed in every realm of our lives. All right, let's look at John 13. I'm going to read quite a bit of it, because this is very, very, very important here. I'll skip some as I go along. It's in John 13, verse 1. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. He loved them unto the end. Now, you know, some of those people that he was with, they were not perfect. Huh? No, Peter had a wonderful heart, but his head was, whoa, his mouth was, you know, he didn't think a lot of times. He talked before he thinks, but his heart was right. So you know, Jesus had to put up with quite a bit. But you know what? He loved them unto the end. Verse 2, and supper being ended, the devil, having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, and that he was come from God and went to God. Now, is this just for Jesus? Is he the only one that knew that he came from God and that he was going to God? You should know that you came from God and you're going back to God, right? Don't you have eternal hope of eternal salvation? Yes. I know I was born again from heaven, and I know I'm going back to heaven, because that's where I belong. That's what Jesus is saying here. Verse 3, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, and that he was come from God and went to God. Verse 4, he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. Now, who does that? The servant. The servant do those things in those days. They were the ones that washed the people's feet. All right? At verse 5. After that, he poured water into basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Now this is God Almighty that made them, is going to take the form of a servant to wash those people's feet. This is God doing that. The thing about it is, he knew that every one of them was going to come a time that every one of them would say, I never knew you. He knew already that Judas was going to already betray him for 30 whatever money was, I don't know. Yeah. He knew that. But yet it says he loved them to the end, and took the form of a servant. Now, it says here, And verse 5, after that he poured water into the basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter. And Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Jesus answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Now here's Peter. And Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. I told you Peter's mouth sometimes getting, his heart was right. Thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Oh boy. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. See? His heart was right, but he couldn't control his mouth. Jesus said unto him, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean everywhere. And you are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he, you are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet, and had taken his garments, and was set down again, and he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? You call me Master and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then your Lord and Master have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. Now, I know we've had that. Have you ever had your feet washed in church? No? We did. We went to a church when they read this, they took it literally and said, okay, they bought a big pan, and you really had to take your shoes off, your socks off, and somebody had to wash your feet. We was washing one another's feet. I won't tell you what church that is, but that was, he's not saying for us to literally go wash one another's feet. But he's saying to think about, in other words, instead of being proud and everything else, you know, love people to the point where if you had to, you would do that.
Yeah.
Okay? But you don't go around with a big pan washing people's feet. If you want me to wash your feet, I'll charge you for it. I'm working. Yeah. But anyway, love. You'll never lose out. Always, always, you'll never lose out. No matter what comes in your way. Be God conscious. Be thinking, know that God is inside of you and God will never lose. God will always put you over. Love is in you. You will always make up. All right, with that, let me, who's passing the, okay. So, to walk in love is to walk in God. To walk in God is to walk in love. No different. No different. He's inside of you and I.